Gents, why cheap men always spend the most cash. Plata, en efectivo. The man who buys cheap thinks he's saving money. He's actually the one spending the most every single time. And here's what lands harder. The money is the smallest part of what it's costing him. By the end of this presentation, you'll never look at a cheap purchase the same way again, okay? Now, run the maths on any cheap man's wardrobe and it's actually brutal, okay? The 30 quid jumper that goes bobbly and gets binned, bought again and again and again. 5 years later, he has spent more than the man who bought one good one and still owns it, okay? Now, that's just the money. Underneath it sits a second cost nobody talks to you about or talks about, okay? What you tell yourself every time you decide you're not worth the good thing, all right? First, the money, why cheap is the most expensive way a man can dress, and then the part that actually matters, what every purchase does to how you see yourself, okay? And how investing in what you wear quietly changes how you carry yourself, how people respond to you, and how you experience your own life. So let's go, gents. Cheap feels like saving. It's the exact opposite. The man who reaches for the cheapest option every time thinks he's being smart with his money. He's actually being robbed in slow motion, right? And he's the one holding the door wide open, okay? Here's how it works, right? Let's say you buy a $30 jumper, $30 jumper or £30 jumper 5 times, okay? It's fine for a season and then it goes bobbly, which is those little bits of fluff that kind of like they come out of your jumper and you have to like get rid of them with one of those things. Anyway, the shape goes, the color fades, and within a year, it's a rag, okay? So you buy another one and another, okay? He does it with everything, the shoes, the trousers, the jackets, right? He never stops to add it up because if he did, the number would make him sick. So add it up. £30 a year on jumpers for 5 years is $150 or 150 quid. And at the end of it, he owns nothing because it's a piece of shit and he's had to throw it out, okay? But the man who spent 120 on one good lamb's wool jumper still has it. He's still wearing it and it looks better now than the day that he bought it, right? Same 5 years, he spent less, he looks better, and he's not standing in a shop again next winter. Open the wardrobe of a man who buys cheap and the evidence is everywhere, okay? It's a graveyard of dead clothes. Stuff worn twice, stuff that shrank, stuff that fell apart, stuff panic bought that never fit right. He'll tell you that he can't afford good clothes. The truth is he can't afford the cheap ones. He's just paying for them in installments and he never counts. Cost per wear is the only number that matters, and it's the one number he's never actually ran. So the cheap stuff isn't badly made by accident, okay? It's badly made on purpose. It's designed to fail. So you come back and buy it again and again, okay? This is the whole business model. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The machine doesn't make money from you buying one good thing. It makes money from you buying 12 bad things a year, okay? Forever. So the clothes are engineered to last exactly long enough that you don't return them and not a day longer, okay? Thin fabric, few seams that come apart, dye that bleeds out after a few washes, plastic dressed up to look like cloth. They aren't selling you clothes, they're selling you a subscription you never agreed to, okay? The bobbling, the sagging, the fading, that isn't a flaw. That isn't a flaw in the product, that is the product working exactly as intended. You're the revenue and your dissatisfaction is the engine, and it ties straight into everything wrong with how men are taught to dress. Keep them chasing, keep him replacing, keeping him feeling like he's always one purchase away from sorted. So he never stops buying long enough to actually get sorted, okay? A man with 5 excellent pieces that last a decade is a nightmare for the industry. He stepped off the treadmill. That's exactly the man we're building and exactly the man they don't want you to be. Clear? Good clothes don't just last longer, okay? They get better. Quality compounds. That's the part the cheap man never experiences because he's never owned anything long enough to find out, okay? A proper leather shoe, a Goodwill coat, a real pair of denim, these age into something better than they started, okay? The leather builds a patina, okay? The wool softens, it molds to you, okay? The denim fades where your body moves, right? They become yours in a way that nothing cheap ever can, okay? Because cheap dies before it can age. It just degrades. Good stuff, however, good quality, built well, good stuff matures, okay? This is the same way everything that matters in a man's life works. It compounds. Your style, your standards, your presence, they're not a one-time purchase. They build on themselves year after year. Like good wine, right? Like the man you become at 40 who'd embarrass the man you were at 25, okay? The cheap man is stuck in a loop, yeah? He's starting from zero every season. The man who buys well is compounding. Stretch cost per wear over a decade. A 400-pound coat worn every winter for 10 years is 40 pounds a year, okay? And it looks more expensive in year 10 than it did in year 1. The cheap coat at 80 quid, however, replaced every 2 years, is the same total money and it looks rubbish the entire time. One is an asset that appreciates in how it makes you look and feel. The other is a cost that just repeats. Buy once, buy well. Wear it for years. Let it get better. This isn't about spending big on everything. That's just kind of a different stupid. It's about knowing exactly where your money has to go and where it genuinely doesn't matter. Some things you never go cheap on. Shoes, people read your shoes in a second. Cheap leather creases, cracks, and gives you away instantly, okay? Your coat, because it's the most visible thing you own for half of the year, especially in those, actual winter climates, and it frames everything underneath it. There's a good knit, so good knitwear. These are the pieces that carry the whole look, right? And cheap shows on them like a stain. Other things you can be sensible with, right? A plain white tee, basic socks, a simple crew neck. You don't need to remortgage for those particular items, right? The trick most men get backwards is they drop money on a flashy logo piece and then buy cheap shoes. The rule is simple. Money goes to pieces that are most visible, most worn, and most able to age well. Okay, a coat, shoes, a good watch, good knitwear, tailoring on the things that need to fit, etc. The cheap budget or the saving budget goes to the quiet basics nobody studies, okay? And that you will replace anyway. Get that split right and you can look like serious money on a modest budget because every pound is exactly where it does the most work. That's not cheap, that's smart, okay? There's a difference. And most men were never taught it, to be clear. So look, everything so far has been about dollars or pounds, okay? Now the part that actually matters and the part that no one talks about. Every cheap purchase is a message that you send yourself. That's the real cost. And you're listening even when you don't realize it. When a man reaches for the cheapest thing on the rail every time without ever asking whether he's worth something better, he's making a quiet decision about his own value. He's saying, this'll do. I'm not worth the good one, okay? Don't waste money on me. He'd never say it out loud, but he says it with his wallet, okay? Week after week, and a part of him hears it loud and clear. That's the real cost of cheap clothing, okay? It's not the money, it's the message. You're training yourself, purchase by purchase, to see yourself as a man who settles, right? As a man who isn't worth the investment. And that doesn't stay in the wardrobe. It bleeds into how you eat, how you train, how you let people treat you, how much you ask for in your work and your relationships. I see it constantly, a man in cheap, worn out and given up clothes. And it's never only about the clothes, it's a man who stopped investing in himself somewhere along the way and he let the standards slide everywhere at once. You've got the dad bod or the dad bod uniform, the whatever's on sale shop, the I'm past it shrug, like, I'm past it, whatever, right? The clothes are the visible edge of an invisible surrender, okay? And here's the thing, it runs in reverse too, okay? This is actually pretty the exciting part. The day you decide you're worth the good thing, something shifts. And that goes a long way past just the jumper. Now, Most men think they dress for other people. Mostly, you actually dress for yourself. The man you see in the mirror every morning is the man you're quietly telling yourself you are. Giving up clothes tells you a story you then go and live out in real life, okay? Your self-image isn't fixed. It's built every day from 1,000 small signals, okay? And what you put on your body is one of the loudest, right? Dress like a man who's given up and you'll feel like one. Carry yourself like one and the world will treat you like one. It's literally a loop. The clothes confirm the story and the story then shapes your behavior and the behavior reinforces the clothes. But you can flip the loop. Put on something you actually invested in, something that fits, something that says, here's a man who takes himself seriously, and you stand differently before you've even left the house, okay? Not because the fabric is magic, because you've changed the message. You've told yourself you're worth it. And a man who believes he's worth it moves through the world completely different to one who doesn't. This is why I'll never tell you style is shallow, okay? The man who sorts how he dresses almost always sorts other things too, because it's the same decision underneath, the decision to stop settling. I've watched men change how they dress and then change their training, their work, their standards in their relationships, all of it. It's like the first domino knocked over the rest, essentially. The wardrobe is rarely the real target. It's the easiest place to start the bigger fight. Win it there and you've proven to yourself you can win it anywhere. Okay, so first we need to stop thinking about good clothes as money spent, and we need to start thinking about them as money invested, okay? In the only asset you'll own your whole life, you, right? When you put real thought and real money into how you present yourself, you're not buying fabric, you're buying the version of you that walks into rooms and gets taken seriously, okay? This is an energy transfer, the one who gets the second look, the benefit of the doubt, the respect before you've even said a word. That return shows up in your career, in how strangers treat you, in your own confidence. You are the asset. There's no other £40 a year investment that pays back like that, okay? And a lot of the return is internal, which is the bit men miss. The standard you hold for yourself becomes an energy other people feel without knowing it, and they don't know why. I've lived this. When I started dressing like a man who respects himself, I felt it in how people responded in rooms, in how women looked at me, in the weight my words carried. Nothing about me had changed except the standard I started to hold for myself, okay? People feel that standard. They're drawn to it. They can't name it, but they respond to it every time. That's the energy transfer, okay? Nobody can sell you in a shop, but the clothes are the trigger that switches it on. You hold a higher standard in how you dress, you start holding it everywhere and it radiates off you. The man who's invested in himself carries himself like a man worth investing in. And the world reads that signal instantly and treats him accordingly. It compounds. A bit more respect, a bit more confidence, a bit more standard year after year until you're a completely different man to the one who used to grab whatever was cheapest and call it fine. I want you to picture two men, because this is where it gets real. Same money, 20 years apart, okay? You got man one, man two different rows. At the end of it, right, 20 years apart at the end of it, the first bought cheap his whole life, okay? So we can just say chap one, right? He spent a fortune in dribs and drabs and has nothing to show but a wardrobe of dead clothes, okay? And a habit of seeing himself as a man who doesn't deserve better, okay? As a man who's settled, right? The settling spread. He let his body go. He let his standards slide. He told himself it didn't matter at every turn, okay? And the cheap wardrobe was the flag flying over all of it, okay? He aged into the smaller version of himself, right? Now, the second, chap two, treated himself as worth investing in, okay? Same money, maybe less, but spent well. And every good thing he put on reminded him daily that he wasn't a man who settles. That standard held in the gym, in his work, in how he carried himself. He didn't peak at 25 and decline. he compounded, and he's more impressive at 45 than he ever was at 25. Same money, but a different man. A completely different man. The only difference was the decision about his own worth. This is why I push men so hard on it, okay? And it's why it's never really about the clothes itself, right? The cheap mindset isn't a money problem per se. It's a self-worth problem wearing a money disguise, and it costs a man his whole trajectory. Slowly, so quietly that he never notices he chose it. The men who get this right don't just end up better dressed, they end up living a different life because they decided early they were worth the investment. And that decision compounded everything. You're standing at the fork right now. The clothes are just where you start choosing. Okay, so right? What's the final step? Here's how you get off the treadmill for good. The treadmill over here, okay? Start with your next purchase. It's simpler than the industry wants you to think. New rule, stop asking, what does this cost? Start asking, what does this cost per wear? And is this an investment in the man I'm becoming? Or is it just another rag that I'll bin in a year? Buy less, buy better, buy once. Put the money where it's seen and where it lasts. The coat, the shoes, the knitwear, the fit. You save on the quiet basics, and you never again buy something just because it's cheap, because cheap is the most expensive decision you can make. But buying well only pays off if you buy the right things, right? And this is where most men waste the upgrade, okay? They finally spend good money, then they buy it in a color that drains them or a fit that hangs off them, okay? And the investment is dead on arrival. I've spoken about that multiple times on this channel. I've got a couple of free tools underneath that can help you with the fit and can help you with the color. But this is what you need to understand about why the cheap men always spend the most dollars, okay, gents? If you get all of this right, you'll stop being that man and you'll start investing in yourself, start investing in the right pieces, and start becoming the man that deserves the investment, all right? So that's it, gents. Get some.